I was down in Tower City. This is some years back. I wasn't a mayor. I don't think I might have been a councilman, but I'm down there, and I went to this tennis shoe place in Tower City, and so when I was in there, these two suburban couple. I mean, this couple came in, suburban couple with two kids, and they were white, and they came in, and they would. One kid was picking the shoe, and he said, this is a nice shoe. I like this shoe, and the other kid said, well, I don't know. I really don't like that. I prefer this one over here. So they were having that kind of dialogue and conversation. These two young African American kids come in, and they came in on their own, and so they went up and they picked the shoe and they said, "Man, look at this bitch." Excuse my language. Look at this bitch. And said, this is raw, whatever the dialect is. And the other one said, "Man, screw that," and it went on like that. Now it was a very profane and very aggressive conversation, but they were having the same conversation. It was the same conversation. If you didn't know any better, you would have thought these kids were going to kill each other. They weren't going to do that. It was the way in which they communicated. It's very aggressive. And part of urban culture is intimidation because it is a remnant of penitentiary. It's a remnant of the penitentiary. And in the penitentiary, intimidation is a key survival or a key cultural kind of thing. Well, part of the urban culture is intimidation, is the way you talk and all this other kind of stuff, the way you behave. So if you looked at them, the way they were dressed, the way they were talking, policeman without any urban, what would he do, man?
He'd go in there and there'd definitely be an incident.
And what would happen?
He'd probably either not arrest, but he'd probably get to the point where he's definitely escorting those two African Americans out of the store, and there may be some conflict where it may result in some kind of use of force.
Now, if he had an urban experience, what would happen?
Well, and I've been there because I worked at Tower City for about 15 years, but the officer that the mayor is talking about, that we've talked about, that we want to respond to that call is an officer that's going to go in and talk to these two African-American young males and say, "Come here, let me talk to you." Bring them aside, away from everybody else, and explain to them that that language is unacceptable
You can't behave
to everybody else in this store. And again, working at Tower City for 15 years during the heyday of Tower City, for the most part, you're going to get these kids saying, "Oh, you're right, officer, I'm sorry, I apologize."
Right.
It won't happen again.
And there's no incident, no arrest, nothing, and it's gone. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. Now that store lost that suburban white customer for life. They probably ain't come downtown anymore, or let alone their store, right? But I'm just trying to point out to you, it's the same conversation. It's the same conversation, but you would not know that if you don't understand it. Now, but one last one I want to point out to you.